now tuning in to the Val and Val Show, where conversation is art, 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 art. Conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what to spark on the Val and Val Show. Ain't no telling the Val and Val Show. You know, ain't no telling where we go on the Val and Val Show. Ain't no ceiling, cause the art of conversation is the flow. It's that creativity available when we speak, available in our homes, available in the streets. We just trying to get it sparking and take it a little deeper. Keep it casual while fireside chatting with our people. Yeah, we take it a little deeper. It get hot when we fireside chatting with our people. Cause conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what'll spark on the Val, the Val and Val Show, the Val and Val Show.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Val and Val Show. Welcome, welcome. Look, we got a great show tonight. I want y'all to get out there. I want y'all to share. We got a young man here. Look, he got a lot to say. He's going to have a lot to say. It's going to be inspirational. It is going to bless someone. Now, let me make this disclaimer. Y'all know I'm saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost, filled, fire baptized. We talk about Jesus on this show. So if you ain't Jesusing it, this may not be the show with you, but I promise you, if you hang around, you'll get to know him. You'll get to know him. I promise you that. So we quote scripture. We do that. We might pray. We do whatever the Holy Spirit lead. Okay. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there for you all. Anyway, tonight, before we get started, I just want to take a moment, you all, to just address something in the news. My God, these shootings and killings that's going on, not just in Birmingham, worldwide. And y'all, I'm looking down because I'm trying to get Jacobie tagged so all his folks can see it, be on it. But anyway, you all, we're going to have to pray and get active. I'm going to say faith. The Bible says faith without works is dead, but I say faith and prayer without works is dead. Y'all, we can pray all we want to. Yes, it is needed. But if we're not moved to action, if you look in the Bible, 99% of the problems that can be solved through people. Jesus did miraculous things when he needed to show the people who he was, but he worked through people. So you all, if we see something that is within our capability of resolving, God ain't finna rain down nothing for us to do it. It means for us to get up. He said, go. So we are the problem solvers. He's given us intellectual capability. He also has given us the Holy Spirit, will help us to come up with witty ideas, great invention and creativity. So I just want to encourage everyone, and what you will learn from this young man that I'm going to be bringing on in a few, you got to get up and get out here in these streets if you want to compete with what those in the street are doing to pull these children in to this life that God didn't intend for them to be. So look, I asked Mr. Jacobie for a short bio, and he like me. When I send my bio out, it ain't much to say. I don't need you to know all my accolades. He said that he did say this. He was born in Germany. Hey, I don't know if he trying to say I was born in Germany. I ain't got nothing to do with this craziness in America. Y'all created this. But he was raised in Birmingham. And he is a living testament to the transformative power of redemption and purpose. And he is dedicated his life now to uplifting and serving his community with stories which inspires hope and resilience. And you all, Lord knows, we need some hope. We need some hope. So come on in here, you all. And I'm going to add, he is my church member, okay? And I really got to meet Kobe several months ago when we took a small group together, just what he was doing. So how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. So just welcome to Conversation is Art. This is part of my therapy. In addition to when I need to talk to a real therapist, I got that too. But this is something I enjoy just doing. God led me here during COVID. We just started interviewing people, and I was gonna stop, and it was me and another co-host named Dalton Johnson. I don't know if you may know him. And I just kept it going. So this is
don't
my
stop.
Thursday. This is my Thursday therapy.
Yeah, don't stop. Keep it
Don't
going.
stop. Yeah. So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right.
Okay then. So look, what we're gonna start out with, we're just gonna let you give the people a little background. Tell them about, hey, tell them about being born in Germany. If you stayed over there any time, and bring it on up to how you got back to Birmingham.
My father was in the military. My father's in the military. Actually, my oldest sister, one of my, it was out of it's seven of us.
Okay.
So me and my sister was born in Germany. My father's in the military, so that's all I know. I was born on the military base. Uh, Stayed over there back and forth. My mom and dad was over there until my daddy got discharged from military. So
Okay.
I ain't stay over there. I probably was over there probably like a year, 6 months, something like
Okay.
that. So
Okay. So you ain't remember.
I almost remember nothing.
Okay
I
then.
don't
So you
remember
came back
nothing.
to Birmingham.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. So which part of Birmingham, which part of town you grew up on?
Uh, I grew up in Ensley, the Brickyard.
Okay.
So I grew up in the Brickyard. They had to put us out the Brickyard. So I was the last people in the Brickyard when they closed the Brickyard down. When they
Okay, when they talking about when they
relocated.
tore it down to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So when
I
they
had a
tore it
hundred
down,
and four-year-old cousin living there.
when they
And
tore it down and rebuilt it, they moved us to Avondale. So I grew up in Avondale. I want to say my ninth grade year.
now let me ask you this: did you know Miss Etta Jackson, Miss
I'm pretty sure
Oracine?
my folks know her.
Yeah, yeah, and her daughter's still there, Oracine. She just turned 99. I went to visit her this past Sunday, so she's still there. I said in the I don't even know the new name or what they renamed the Brickyard to.
I
Rename it.
think Tuxedo Heights.
Okay, Tuxedo Heights. It's really
Mm-hmm.
nice. I mean, she has a beautiful apartment. Harris Josh said he know her. Yes, beautiful. I found that was my granddaddy's long lost cousin. Had a very small family,
Mm-hmm.
and I had been in Birmingham 20 some years when my grandmama found her phone number, and I was able to call and get to meet her before she died. Like I said, she lived to be 104. Now her daughter's 99. So hey, I got some longevity on my mama's side and on my granddaddy's side. So I hope the Lord bless me
He
with
will.
long, healthy life, because she's still in her right mind, and so was her mama prior to dying. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
pretty sure somebody
yep.
knows
So
something.
now Jacobie, you got this organization, and I love the name called Everybody Wins.
Mm-hmm.
WENS. So tell the people what that WIN stand for.
So it actually have two meanings. It stands for West Side, East Side, North Side, and South Side, and it
Okay.
also stands for working to enhance neighborhood success.
Okay. Okay. So now, what does working to enhance neighborhood success mean? What's your goal?
Uh, to equip with financial literacy. So I took the wins: wealth, nutrition,
Uh-huh.
spiritually, and education.
Okay. Gotcha. That's good. That we need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We need all that. So now let's backtrack and go back to the road that led you up to developing this. So tell us what life was like for you growing up in Birmingham, in the
Uh,
brickyard.
Growing up in the brickyard, it was very family oriented, but it was very violent. Uh, I can remember a lot of shootings happened out there. One of the most deadliest shooting happened out there was on a Sunday. They got shot up real bad. We stuck together, but growing up, it was growing up in a big family can be a gift and a curse. You know,
Okay.
then growing up with, like I said, it's seven of us. I come from a big family. My grandma had, I want to say, 8 or 9 kids, 7 girls and a
Mm-hmm.
boy.
Gotcha.
Growing up in a big family and with a single mom in that type of environment, I dealt with an absence of a father figure.
Gotcha.
I had a lot of men around, and I ain't had no uncle. I had one uncle on my mama's side, one uncle on my daddy's side,
Mm-hmm.
and my uncle on my mama's side was dead. He died at, I want to say, 12 or 13, so I never got a chance to meet him.
Okay.
And my daddy brother was active in our life, but he was in the military too, so he was
Okay.
very active in our life. But just growing up around a lot of women, and I had a lot of older cousins, but a lot of my older cousins was thugging. They was in the streets.
Oh, and
So
hey.
a lot of them went to prison when I was in elementary and middle school.
Goodness.
I never get a
Goodness.
chance. I never had a chance to, really experience a real father figure in my life.
Okay, let me stop you right there because you said you were born in Germany with
Hmm.
your dad. So when you got back, your mom and dad divorced.
Uh, from now as I, got both sides of the story.
Yeah.
My dad when he met my mom already had two kids,
Okay.
and from what he said, he didn't know how to be a dad. So when he got kicked out of the military, he, chose the streets.
Okay.
And from the time I know from elementary to middle school to high school, my dad was in prison. He
Mm.
went to prison, got out, went back to prison, got out, went back to prison, got out. So by the time he got out of prison last time, I was 19, I was in college.
Wow.
So we built a relationship, through me writing him while he was in prison.
Okay.
So I was writing, we was writing letters back and forth, and once he got out of prison, I asked him like, his side of the story, and he basically was saying, his my granddad gave him the blueprint, and let me take that back. My granddad was a big part of our life. Like my granddad was that father figure that we were looking for. Let me take that back. He was a big part. Like he taught us how to do everything from cutting grass to
Okay.
job application to he was that granddad. He came to the schools. He came to games. He uh he was very active. He was very active. I just lost him beginning of this year, in January.
So is that your grandmother that I met? Was that her husband?
No,
Okay.
that's my brother, my two older brothers' grandma. She always just been
Okay.
a grandma to us.
Yeah, that's when you tell me a good person. It don't matter whether they're biologically yours. Hey, you my grandchild too.
Right. And
Okay.
she always treated like us grandchild. Like my mother died my seventh grade, sixth grade year.
Okay. So you had a lot of loss of your grandparents early. Now let me ask you this. Going back to your dad, because he was in the military, then he did he get when you said kicked out, I'm assuming dishonorably discharged.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
So even going to the military didn't help him with whatever the behavioral problems or whatever he was struggling with, be it anger or whatever it was.
I can't. That's a good question because, like, knowing my granddad, his daddy,
Hmm.
he was a great father. He was a great granddad. You
Yeah.
know, and even much like I said, my granddad just passed this January, past January, and
Okay.
uh, and my daddy got up and talked, and my daddy told the church he gave him the blueprint because if you see my dad and you see my uncle, and you'll be like,
Two different people.
how,
What's the
and
age different? Who's
my dad is the
older?
oldest. They probably like 2 years apart.
Let me tell you something. We now my older brother, he ain't done nothing crazy, but we always say them first children, them boys sometimes can be a little different. And I
Mm.
always tell people this. It does not matter that you're raised in the same home with the same rules and regulations.
Hmm.
You still can get
Right.
something different. Like, hey, you can go to a tree, you can get some good fruit, and there can be some rotten fruit on that
Hmm.
same tree. So
Hmm.
apparently dad lost his way, and of course you say came back, ended up in prison. So how long has he been out now?
Uh, Probably like 10 years.
So that's just a blessing that he did
Yes.
not go back with being in and out. So that, and I'm glad you had an opportunity to develop a relationship with him. But I'm sure growing up with him being in prison and you wanting to see him. I don't know if you've seen this movie that came out on Netflix, documentary called Daughters. And I
Hmm.
was saying, God, I wish they would do one about the boys. But it kind of made me realize we talk about, them being people in prison or whatever, but we kind of push back what the children are going through. What
Hmm.
you like, even though your granddad was there, that still wasn't your dad.
Right.
You want your dad at your basketball games. You want your dad to help you learn how to play whatever type ball you played, or just be there. Your prom, your whatever. And
Hmm.
of course, you were in a volatile location anyway in the brickyard, and then of course you had Prince Edward's apartments were behind there.
Prince
My
Hall.
cousin, look,
Prince
Prince
Hall.
Hall, yeah, my cousin used to live there, and
Hmm.
I used to visit her there. Um, So with that, so dad wasn't involved. Well, he couldn't be involved because he was in prison. Although you're writing him. So where are you in this group of 7? What
I'm
child are
the,
you?
I'm the middle.
Ooh, and unfortunately, middle children get lost sometime in the shuffle.
Right. Right.
That middle child gets lost in the shuffle sometime. So, at what age did you start straying away?
Well, honestly, uh, my auntie introduced me to God at an early age. I got baptized, I want to say at 10 or 11 at True Love.
Okay, true love.
And I
Okay,
ended up getting introducing to two, I call my godparents to today, Sister Dejarnette and Brother Dejarnette. So from the age of 11 all the way until 19, I was, if you knew Jacob, you know he gonna go to church. I don't care what
okay.
he did, I was going to church.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say I got lost. I want to say around age of, I want to say 20.
Okay.
So I left college. And I want to say I got lost because it's like everything. I remember I first got the opportunity, to take a detour, and I was, we don't know how much we play with God. I kept telling God like, if you let me get this, I'm gonna do this. If you
One
let me
more
do this,
time. One more time.
you know. So and I took the opportunity, and you had to know me to know what I did. I just went
Gotcha.
all out with it because, like I said, at the time I was in college. I was sleeping on the sofa. I was sleeping on a teamwork sofa. My mama wasn't working. It just like it was a lot going on. But
Yeah.
I was so determined not to come back to Birmingham, you know. And the opportunity presented itself, and I told Pastor B with this. I looked at the opportunity like it came from God because I didn't go out there looking for the opportunity. My opportunity was go out there and play basketball, get a degree, and make better for my future. I did not go out there. So it happened I was put into the camp of marijuana. I was in, and the first couple times when the dude approached me, I'm like, no, I'm good. I never had touched drugs in my life. I was around it, coming from
Mm-hmm.
a family who sold drugs, but that wasn't me. Everybody know me. You gonna see me with a basketball in my hand. I was, church going. I was that type of kid. So I never went out there looking for it. I feel like it came to me, and I look at it as it was a blessing from at the time I needed it. And when I
Okay,
got
now stop right there, now, Cobra. How you now you really thought the Lord sent some marijuana?
it, that's how I felt, Miss John.
Hey,
But
look, and you know what? Let me tell you something. And that can happen, especially if you're in a desperate place.
yeah,
And look, and I'm gonna tell you the scripture: the wealth of the wicked stored up for the righteous. You know that scripture. You can make that work how you want to work it. With it. So now,
hmm
now tell me, where'd you go to college?
So I went to a JUCO called Mendocino in Ukiah,
Okay,
California.
okay.
So
Oh, you was in California, long way away.
that was the capital of marijuana, and I ended up leaving there and going to Fort Kent, Maine. So
Okay,
that's like I was 10 minutes from the border.
okay. Look, good Lord, look, and I'm just listening to this, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm actually thinking about. I'm just thinking about how cunning Satan is. You know, the script says sin is crouching at the door. He's seeking whom he may devour. And the thing was, of course, in college, you go to college. When I came to college, you was like, you went to church some, you might not have gone to church. You I think college is probably, especially if you go, to a bigger university, but out like you went to California, you get to meet people from all walks of life doing all types of things.
hmm
And so you get exposed to a lot, of good,
hmm
bad, and the ugly. And the ugly. So this is what I'm interested to know. Do you know whether the guy kind of knew something about your background
No,
to reach out to, as I call it, like grooming you?
so what happened was, like I said, it was just in the, it's in the capital of marijuana. Like it's
One,
the
okay.
capital. Everybody. have everybody grow it. And my dad had just got out of prison that
Mm-hmm.
following year, and he had gifted me a car, and he seen I had Alabama plates. So he seen the Alabama plates. He thinking like, okay, I got somebody that I can, sell to, because like everybody up there grow. So he couldn't sell it to you couldn't sell it up there. You had to,
Okay.
sell it off somewhere else. And like I said, at the time, he kept approaching me. And I'm like, nah, we from the South. I'm the fierce
He was
like,
doing. He was dangling that carrot like this, huh?
yeah. And like I said at the time, I was sleeping on my roommate couch, and I'm in California. It was like one of the like some people ain't gonna know this to I recently had said it. Like I was sleeping on the couch. And I called my coach and was like, hey coach, I can't do this no more. In college, you can't go to sleep until everybody leave. And one of my teammates, he was local, so everybody knew him.
Okay.
His dad was the AD. His house was the party house. So every night it's a party. And I can't go to sleep until everybody leave. And everybody sitting on the couch and stuff, and I gotta lay my face down. I called the coach and like, coach, I can't do this no more. So he ended up moving me to it was another place called it was all the athletes stayed at, the basketball players, the football
Everybody.
players. It was a big house. It was on the winery. It was like so.
Okay.
So I was in Napa Valley.
I was just so you was in Napa Valley with some
Right.
winery now.
So it was on the winery. So them big barn houses.
Yeah.
It was
So
like
look,
three
y'all,
of
he
them.
wasn't in South Central. I spent plenty of summers in South Central because my siblings were older. That place is, I mean, California is different to me.
Right. So it was
It's
like
a
three
different
of
kind
them.
of place.
So my room there, you know how you go upstairs, you finna walk upstairs and it's like an opening spot right there.
Uh-huh.
I had to put a bed right there. I had an air mattress. But I
Okay.
was so determined not to come back to Birmingham. Because I had just took a year off. I ain't graduated. I had to go back and graduate. So 2009, I graduated in 2007. I ain't passed this exam, so I had to graduate 2008. I had to work to get a scholarship to go play Canada because I had lost all my scholarships. So I was determined not to come back to Birmingham.
Gotcha.
So when he moved me, my room was out in the open. Like I'm sleeping in the, when you go up the steps and you got the little opening right there, that's
Yeah.
my room. But I'm like, I gotta, I can't tell my mom. I'm this 19-year-old. I'm in California. I can't tell her this. So one day I was talking to a girl up there, and she was like, see what he want. And I finally seen what he want, and he,
Oh, look at Satan. He sent a Delilah right on in there to tell you to see what he wants
But actually, Miss John, that's how me and my dad relationship grew though.
with that.
That's how me and my dad relationship grew. My dad had told me he was like, son, throughout us writing, he was like, you can't get that back. You can't get the time back. He said,
Yeah.
all thing I can do here, be here for you, and help you, guide you, give you wisdom, give you knowledge, And when it first presented itself, I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, I got this opportunity. He fresh out of prison. I'm like, but he never dealt with weed. So I'm like, Dad, I got this opportunity, and do you still get down? And his favorite, his I remember like it yesterday. He said, school bus yellow. So, he walked me through it. And that's what I feel like, even up with God grace and with my dad, that I never got to experience prison or never got to experience getting robbed, because the mistakes he made, he still in me to this point. Like, son, you can't do this. Son, you can't do that. Like I said, you had to know me to know what I did, because I had, setting that foundation at an early age, and having my dad who been in prison for drugs 3 times, all the mistakes he made, he really walked me through
Now, Jacobie, stop right there. Stop right there. Because I'm sitting here thinking, ain't no way in the world I would have picked up the phone and called my dad. I don't care if he had help. I'm like, you call your dad and ask him, okay, you still get down. I like that. It's a school bus yellow. Let's do
it.
this. So that was pretty much your goal, right? Let's do this,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, y'all, I know we talk about him selling drugs, okay, marijuana, but y'all, let me tell you something. It's a lesson in here, okay? It's a lesson in here. His dad took his knowledge of what landed him in prison to coach Jacobie, to avoid all that, so he wouldn't go to prison. Now, That works, y'all. Gifts and talents come without repentance, you all, because if you're good at something, you can utilize it for good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Either way it go. And also, I feel like this. I think a lot of times, a lot of the principles in the Bible, the world people benefit from them more than us as believers because we don't utilize them. We don't utilize them. So dad became your new coach. That's what I'm gonna say.
Then again, that just it's another thing you get out of that. Most people, most fathers and sons have broken relationships. We
Yeah.
had a broken relationship. So at the time, instead of telling me, "Nah, son, don't do that." Okay, son, I don't want you to, because he wasn't just all money for it. But at the time, to better our relationship, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for you, son. You know, and I wasn't doing nothing. I was just sending to him. Like we first did, I sent. He told me what to do. Do this, go to this, send an empty box. If the empty box make it, then we do this. Like he really walked me through it, and that's how we built our relationship. Like our relationship came better over the years because of this.
And you
I
do
felt,
what would they call it? So you literally trafficking marijuana
yeah,
across the
yeah,
United States. You trafficking marijuana through the mail. I take it since you putting it in bottles. Because what no. Well, you probably couldn't do that stuff UPS or
man.
whatever.
I was sending them in. I had got to the point so big that I was sending them in cars and everything.
Wow. So you had you a crew
Yeah, yeah,
going.
yeah.
So
But
now
I started with
so
my
this
dad
started
though.
when?
I
So tell me
started
what this started what year for you?
2010, 2009, 2010.
So how long did you stay in there?
Since 2000, last 2023,
2023. 2023. So what happened in 2023?
I had a bad car wreck. I had a single car accident. But even much, as I sit back now, I was getting signs, I was getting warnings. But when you're making that type of money, you ignore them. You know, I was getting warnings, but when if something might happen, but a play might call, it might be a $10,000 play. You think I'm gonna care about that warning that I just got?
Yeah, you're gonna shake that out real quick, huh?
And like I tell people all the
That
time, man,
love of money.
right? I tell people all the time, we worse than the people we sell drugs to. It's addiction. You got to sit and we worse than them. As I sit and think about it now, we way worse than them.
Because you got the addiction to what's getting you all the money. So you don't even care about them becoming addicted. It's all about the dollar.
We
All
way
about
worse
the
than them.
dollar at
Yeah.
all costs. So let me ask you this: in this life, so were you still in California, or had you come back to Birmingham now? Still going?
So I graduated 2012, 2013, 12 and 13 from California. I got a
Hmm.
scholarship to play basketball in the University of Maine in Fort Kent. But this at the time when I felt like my life took a detour. I had that summer so much fun. Like whatever we want to do, we doing it. From
You balling?
we having so much fun.
Got that big money.
It was because I was playing basketball, so I wasn't spending no money. I had meal money. I'm getting meal money. I wasn't spending. I'm going to save my money. So
Yeah.
when I came home the first time,
Did you have a bank account?
yeah, I had multiple bank accounts.
Okay, I
I
just saying
came
because how was
home.
you explaining this? Because they had what was the rule? I know
So
they
my
was
mama,
monitoring
it's
stuff.
crazy. My mama asked me because at first she wasn't. She asked me. I'm paying the bills. I'm sending money home. Like, and they asked me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Man, the alumni take care of their best players." So
So you just you on line too. Now you just look. Y'all watch the trajectory, right? Line on top of lies. Just line.
so I came home and I had called me. Like I'm the oldest now. I'm at this time I'm 20 years old. The youngest might be 15.
Okay.
I came home, I called to me, and I had came home for Christmas break. I came home, I had like $50,000 in cash. And I sit everybody down and I told my brothers and our close friends like what was going on. But I had bought a car out there that I sit home. I'm telling them like, look, this is coming home and this go pick it up here. This is what it is, this is what it ain't. I left and went to Atlanta for the peace drop, me and my the girl I'm with now. Me and her left and went to Atlanta for the peace trial. So I had already planned. I told them, don't tell nobody. You know, this is what it is. So before I had told anybody, the only person knew was my daddy. My brother them they knew. I just told them when I come home, I got something to tell y'all. You know, we ain't got to worry about. We gonna be straight. And I left and graduated, and I ended up going to University of Miami. So I had all this money when I left and went to college. But when I got there, stuff went down. My mom. This is what made me come back home. I had a brother. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was one of them hotheads. Like hothead. Like he ain't finna work no job. If he wants something, he finna go get it.
Mm-hmm.
He texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning one day. I was in mine. And he was like, bro, since you left, we ain't been eating. People turning their back on us. We need you. This and that, this and that. So when I got to my university, I had 80, 85, 86 credits to transfer over. So I'm going to be a transfer. I'm going to be a junior. So
Mm-hmm.
when I got there, only 20-some credits got taken. So they put me back as a freshman. So I'm thinking,
What?
yeah,
Goodness.
all this stuff going through my head. They put me back as a freshman. I'm in the freshman dorms. I supposed to be in,
Supposed to be
upperclassmen
an
dorms.
upperclassman. You supposed to be the man.
I supposed to be in upperclassmen dorms. Then like all this playing a part. I was in Fort Kent, Maine. I was 10 minutes from the border. The closest city was Boston. It was like 6 hours. But that was the most suicidal state. That was the most obese state. That was the most
Ooh.
depressing state. I'm going through all this. I got the money. I ain't worried about the money, but it's just I'm going through all this. My family going through this. So my coach used to have his thing saying, God was first, family, school, then basketball. So at the time when my brother texted me, I'm going through all this. I went to my before I even made the decision, I go to my coach, like, look, coach, I'm going through this, I got out here, I'm one of the biggest recruits. I went out there in July. So they had a real big building board for me because I was one of the biggest recruits in school history. So all this was going on, I'm telling the coach, like, hey coach, you don't much know, you really don't know. Like I really ain't gotta be here, This was going on. So they try to make me take out a loan to pay for my class that was gonna count towards my degree. I'm like, I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna do that. And I had my basketball scholarship, but I didn't have my academic. And
Mm-hmm.
school was high. And I wasn't finna go in my pocket to pay like 36, it was like $38,000. I wasn't finna do it. And at the time, I had went and met with the coach. I'm like, hey, coach, I was so happy to leave that I left everything there. I had left everything there. I ain't take nothing with me, no clothes.
What
I
you just
left.
got on a plane? Jacobie came home.
I just got on the plane because I knew I was coming back home to. And I
Yeah.
met the coach and I said, hey, coach, we talk about family. I said, my family need me more than the basketball team.
Okay, Jacobie, let me ask you this. Your degree you got from the JUCO. What degree did you get from the JUCO?
Secondary education and coaching major.
Okay, then culture major. Now this is your story is just real phenomenal and really, really interesting. Now let me talk about this $86,000. Y'all bear in mind this was what year?
This 2012.
Y'all, let me tell you something. Okay, for y'all like 86,000 2012. Oh yeah, $86,000. Now $86,000 now in 2024, it ain't got the same power in the punch.
Yeah,
And
like I
then
said,
too,
we was
let me
20. I was 19. We was 20.
yeah. Well, this is what I tell people too. Also, it depends on who you are. Um, probably if you're a college educated person and got a nice salary, you like $86,000 what? But if you're in poverty, $8,600 is a lot of money at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day. So it's not, it depends on who you are. My mom used to always tell me this, say, Val, if you mismanage $10, you'll mismanage 100, 1,000. But it seems like you was put the money aside. You had your multiple accounts. You know what you made me think about? The movie, The Shawshank Redemption. You know how Andy, although he got him, he had all those bank accounts
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
I was good with managing money. So like I wasn't like I said when I came back home from mine, I already made a phone call.
All I
So
can think is cold. Maine is cold.
it was cold. It snowed. 125 days out the year.
Woo.
It got below zero.
That's
So
a new
like
kind of
coming from
cold.
California, from
For
Alabama to California to Maine, and dealing with all this and knowing how much I was worth. Like I told the coach, we in the meeting, I said, "You don't know how much I'm worth." And he ended up he ended up getting fired the following year because they had the worst season ever.
wow. You look, mess up them folks. They'll spend all their money recruit you and you gone.
But
Okay,
like
so
I said,
look, you
it just
you get back to Birmingham, home. So what's next?
the most. So it was for 13 years. Them was the most. I had a lot of fun, but them were the most depressive, darkest days of my life. As I sit back and I'm talking about, got back home, got the business back going, and I had ended up, investing in, doing parties, a lot of partying, like went out every day, like to the point I had got so big that I had my own security guard.
Wow.
I had my own security
Okay,
guard.
Jacob. So look, let me ask you this. So you never fell on the police radar?
I
Or you
did,
had paid them off?
I did, I
You
did,
did.
I did. But this goes back to how I was raised and how I carried myself.
Gotcha.
I had a phone call. This when I was still in California. And like I said, my little brothers and homeboy, they were 15, 16, so they were still in school. Some of us in school, some of us out of school. It was this club called 1709. It was across from the headquarters, police headquarters,
Which one? On the north
downtown on
downtown.
First
Okay.
Avenue. It was a it
Okay.
was it was a teen club across the street from there.
Was it still was that the old part west?
Oh, that probably four past my time.
A new one. Yeah, it's on the corner there. I know what it.
So
Okay, so that was the old part west for you old heads on the because I don't know nobody no 17. What'd you say,
it was
1709?
1709.
Yeah.
And my little brothers and homeboys, you know, I was mad at them, but now I look at them, I realize they were 15, 16 years old. They ain't no dude the money they was making. They was, buying bottles, throwing money out the windows. Like my name was ringing, like, because you got these young dudes, and they don't, it was like in 2009. It's like before, all this rappers started talking about it. Like
Yeah.
we was already doing it. Like I said, I was 20, so the youngest had to be like 15.
So you don't came and started you a family
Yeah,
impact.
I put all my brothers and little niggas on. I ain't everybody from the who we growing up, we going through this and sharing each other clothes and this week he might buy the food, he got to buy the
Hey,
food.
and everybody looking up to Jacobie. Jacobie is their savior.
So and that's what it was. And I never forget I was in California, and at the time, like I said, I played for Inns Broncos. A lot of our police officers, I mean, a lot of our football coaches were police officers.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, one of the coaches was the head of narcotics. Oh, he was on the narcotics team. He called me and he was like, "Hey, where you at?" I'm like, "I'm in California. I'm in school." He was like, "You sure you ain't in Birmingham?" I'm like, "No, I'm in school." I'm like, he like, I'm putting my job online for you, right? I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "Your name and came across my board." I'm like, "Huh? What board?" He like, "Narcotics board."
You
I'm
you
like,
playing you playing stupid now, huh? You was
I
like,
don't know nothing
what?
about that. I'm in Cali, but I was actually in school.
Uh-huh.
But my brothers and homies were making so much noise in the city because, like, we had it to the point they was like, but it's pointing back to me though.
Yeah.
But I'm in school, so he like send me your schedule, transcript or something. So I'm finna put my job online. He was like, if it was such and such, I believe you, but I don't believe you because how I carry myself. Like I said,
Yeah.
you never look at me and say, oh, he did that. Even when I came home, you never seen that because I never was around that. It's always
You weren't going buying cars, balling out.
like, I did that. But it come from when I came home, I invested in throwing parties. So
Okay, so
everybody looked at me as a
so you got
party
an
promoter.
income stream
Right.
that look legit.
So then I had car wash, I had lawn service. So everybody look at me as a party promoter. Like I said,
Okay, entrepreneur going on
right?
here.
You had to be hands on to know I did it, and I wasn't hands on with too many people.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, it came across, but I ended up getting set up twice. I got set up going to Tuscaloosa one time. I got set up leaving football practice.
Somebody, what do you call it? What do you call them? We out, yeah,
Snitch.
Missouri snitch.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
told
but
on me.
somebody got caught, arrested, and they told on you.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you avoid jail, Jacobie?
Emory Anthony. That's all I can say. Emory
Em-
Anthony.
Emory have saved a lot. He did. He most definitely have. So
But
now come on down to this wreck. Now you had a car wreck when?
September the 23rd of
So
2023.
so God is sending these. I call them the nudges. Like you thump you somebody side upside the head, Jacobie. You need to stop now.
But it was just before that though, like the money, people started playing with the money. My cars, I had ended up having like 10, 12 cars. My people were wrecking cars. Uh,
That's what I'm talking about. Them the thumps, them the nudges,
yeah.
them the pushes.
But I was
Jacoby.
still making so much money at the point like I was ignoring them. I was
Yeah.
ignoring them. But 2023 probably one of my money was getting low, and I was more in tune. Like this was like one of the worst. I don't know. I was coming or going.
Mm.
It was like, and the only person who knew I was dealing with it was my fiance. Like
Got
I was fighting demons. Uh,
mm.
like I had it. This happened before, you know, because you making that type of money, and I ain't know who's with who's for me or not.
You paranoid now. You looking over your shoulder.
You get
Everybody's
so much fake
suspect.
love. Yeah,
Let me
I
ask
had.
you this.
I've
Let
been
me ask you this,
following home.
Jacoby.
I was following
Going.
home numerous of times. Like
Let me ask you this. Going back to what you said about now that you look back on it, you was making a lot of money, but it was the darkest time. What made you realize, although you was balling per se, what
them
made you
happy
realize
moments.
that you were really not happy or satisfied and something was really missing?
I just look at it now. Like this the happiest I ever been, and I ain't got half of the money I had.
Wow,
Nowhere near
peace.
it.
Got peace.
And nowhere near it. Then it's just a lot of people. When I tell you, Miss Jones, like I had an entourage. If some people on here and and they know, I probably had an entourage of 30 people more. Every night we went out every night, Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, every night. Like
Mm.
we was riding around in Sprinter before these Sprinter was popular. Like I had a personal Sprinter. I had somebody picking us up to go clubs in Birmingham. We had
I don't even
Sprinters.
know what is a sprinter because I don't know. I'm
Them big
58. I've been out the streets a
them big
long time.
Mercedes vans with the
Okay, gotcha.
so we had one of those. So it's just like even much I knew some of the guys if they had a chance to get me, they would have got me because like I said I
Mm.
wasn't down one of those. I fight, but I never shot a gun. I wasn't finna shoot nobody. And I had a lot of people who gonna do that, and it was just like one of the if somebody my name was ringing so much like I've been followed home numerous of times, try to
Wow.
get robbed.
But so
About
Jacoby,
20.
with that still didn't make you want to pump the brake because that them dollars, dollar bills.
We was no, because at the end of the day, we was laying off. Like if you ain't finna just they knew if you did something, Jacoby gonna something come behind it. It just went finna be, oh, we're gonna do something, Jacoby, we're gonna be into that. Then at the time, like if my name came up and we knew who said my name, we gonna go check them right then and there. We wouldn't just sit back and wait. Most of these dudes get messed up in the street because you'll hear something and you just wait. So it's just like if somebody say they finna do something, it's just like you say I'm finna do something to Jacoby, and I found you say you do something, you see some
You move first.
yeah, you see some people showing up at your door, you're gonna think about it. Do I really
Yeah.
want to do something to him? Then I had put so much love out here that you couldn't like all this stuff that I'm doing, I was been doing for 11 years. I did back to school giveaways,
Yeah.
block parties in the neighborhood.
Even with the money, the way you
Yes,
got it, you can still.
I was paying bills. I was paying birthdays. I was like, I've been doing this for 11 years, 12 years. Like, I just couldn't glorify it because I never was that person. Like, but I was paying, like, in the project in Avondale, I was taking care of so many people. I was paying so many people bills. I was paying so many people birthdays and paying for funerals and paying for lawyer fees, like, because I
Everything. Well,
had it
look.
hard.
Well, let
I
me ask
never
you
took it.
this. So you grew up poor, obviously, and then you got into this life. So you have this car wreck. You say in 2023. What
Hmm.
about that car wreck was the thing that said, "Whoa"?
Because I walked away with no scratches. I walked away with no scratches. I walked away with no bruises. I walked away with no internal bleeding. Like, in that car wreck, I had some I had some marijuana on me at the time.
Uh
I had
huh.
the car wreck, and then next day I went and gave it away. I knew then, right then, like, God had, because like I said before that, I used to always say, "Oh God, if this truck touch down, I'm done.
Yeah.
If this land, I'm done. If I make it back, like I was driving, like most of the time by myself, like people don't know. If I make it back through this, I'm done." So I was playing with myself, playing with my life so much
Yeah.
to the point, like, something clicked in my head. Was like, after that car wreck, like I said, I had some bags on me that night. And the next day I gave him away because I knew at the time, like, oh, this is the last straw. This is the last strike I'm on. Because he had, like I said, to be in the streets that long, I was in, walked away with no felonies, not went to
That's what I'm
prison.
saying. Not go, baby. Listen, hey, you had a praying grandmother and some other saints and a whole lot of other folks interceding before you because what it was, Jacobie, the gift that God gave you was the gift. It's just that the enemy came in and
Hmm.
utilized in a bad way. Now, I want to go back and touch back on. You said you were seeing demons, or demons were coming at you. Was it like you were having vision, or you were physically
I
feeling
was,
their presence?
I was in a dark place, physically, and I was seeing them.
Wow.
I was in the, like, even much. It had me turned on at a point. Like, me and my fiance, we've been together 17 years since we was 17, 18 years. And even much, and it haven't been straight. Like, even much with me and her. At one point in time, the enemy had me to turn on her like she was, and me and her talked about it. Like, she didn't know because I was closed minded. I wasn't vocal about it. And once we got back together, she, by her being so spiritual and her growing up like that, she knew, but she just didn't know how to come to me because, like, and it made me feel like that because, like, I always put everybody first. I never put myself first. I'm really now starting to put myself first
For the first time.
for the first time. And all my hurt came from people who I love the most because you do something for one person and you don't do it when you really don't have it, and they make you out to be a bad person.
Yeah.
So all my hurt came from people I love the most.
Everybody
Like,
got the hand out. Everybody got,
yeah,
if you help one, you got to help everybody. So let me ask you this: you say you and your fiance 17 years. So did she know about you selling the drugs, or did you keep that somehow hid too?
I kept it here for a minute, and how she found out when we got back together. So she went off to school. I ain't go off to school. So she was a senior at Alabama State. But every time I called her, she was busy. And I'm like, it's no way impossible you be this busy. So we ended up breaking up. So we broke up. Like I said, we graduated '07. She went off school '07. I had to go back and pass the exam. So '08, I went back to pass the exam. I was working out to get a basketball scholarship because I had lost all the scholarships that I had.
Uh
So
huh.
I had to get a scholarship, got a scholarship to California. Uh, I went to her school looking for her because once I got in school and I found out how busy I was, I'm like, oh man, like, she was busy.
She wasn't
So
lying.
she wasn't lying. So I actually went to Alabama State. I left school, went to Alabama State looking for her. Finally got in touch with her. I had found the girl that I knew and asked her, did you know her, such and such? She's like, oh yeah, she stayed in this dorm room. So she went and got her for me. She came outside. We talked. And she was like, "Yo, I don't know."
Look
So,
at Kobe. Kobe up there at Alabama State begging y'all, begging,
so,
acting like it's a Key Sweat. Was that Key Sweat used to be begging? You begging.
so a year went by. She didn't get back with me. Uh, she ended up going to Clark, Atlanta, and we end up coming home on break. And I end up seeing her again. I'm like, man, what's And she was like, well, if you know my house number, call me when we leave the club. End up, I knew the house number. Miss Jones, I knew the house number. It's been like 3 years. I still knew the house number. So I called the house number, and my brother ended up telling her that I had a baby. She was like, I never talked to you, you had a baby. I'm like, we wasn't together, but she felt like I still had a baby on her. So she came over. She was like, well, I'm gonna come over and see if the connection's still there. She came over. She met the baby. And this how she knew. So she went back to school. We still talk. We text. We ain't back together now.
Yeah.
But she was hungry one day. But I'm in California. She in Atlanta. They was hungry, and she going through it. Refund check ain't hit. I was like, okay, this is my time to show out.
There you go. Look at him swooming in, swooming in.
So I ordered them some food from California to Atlanta, and got them some food ordered to their door. And she was like, "What do you do?" I still ain't told her. Like, I'm like, man, wasn't there? It was some piece of wings and some cheese bread. Like $30, that wasn't there. But the fact that this back in 2012, like DoorDash and all that wasn't out yet. I don't think it was.
I don't think
Uber
it was
Eats, none of
either.
that was out. So I ended up calling. I asked her for her address. Like, what? Let me call and see. Can I make something happen? Found a pizza spot by her house. Called, gave them my card number on the phone. Hey, take this to her house. Such and such. I pay you extra. And they took it, and that's when I got her back. That's when I feel like I got her back.
You know
And
what?
that's
Even though you had that dark life on that side, you still have that kindness. That the thing you said when you gave your life to Christ at 10, and then till you got off track at 20. And I want to say this right now, you all. We can't throw people away, no matter what their style they're in. Believers. Let me clarify this: believers, because I think too often the church is really hard. Say, for instance, in 2012, I don't know. I like to think you would have been accepted when you showed up at our church in 2012. I
oh,
don't know.
I was going to the church because there was church she was going to. So we moved back
Yeah, but I'm
home.
talking about no. If they had known about your lifestyle, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
talking about. I
Pastor
don't.
Beavis. That's why me and him, when I first met Pastor Beavis, she kept asking me, "I want you to meet my pastor. I want you to meet my pastor." This and that. But it was 2013. She just moved back from Atlanta. I'm back from Maine. When I met Pastor Beavis, I got jewelry on, pocket full of money.
Yeah.
I go meet him.
Wait, now he used to rap and had braids and all that stuff too. And of course,
That
unlike you, you ran it that way, but he was running from his calling. I think
he
he had
told me.
three wrecks,
Three
three
or
wrecks,
four.
and the Lord
Yeah.
told him the next one, I'm gonna let the enemy go and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
What led him? So I think that's a good thing that church is becoming more of a sanctuary, and we have to love on people. We have to, even when people come in out of the street, because there are a lot of people that have not been to church. I'm sure you deal with a lot of kids, they've never gone to church, so we living in a different world. So let me ask you this: now, all these people you brought into this life, have you went back and witnessed to them? And
Oh, a lot
some
of
of
them.
okay,
A lot of them have. I got so many, and that would make me love what I do because a lot of them they so deep in that they can't get out, and
wow,
I'm their only hope. I got a phone full of screenshots from people texting me and writing me on social media like I'm their only hope. They feel like because you don't get to see that in our society, you don't get to see that in our race. Somebody from sports to the streets now to this, you don't get to see that.
yeah,
So I got some I got numerous on, bro. I feel like if I make that turnaround you make, I'm gonna get killed. Cause I felt like that, and I wasn't like I said, I wasn't out here committing
crimes and felony, that
crime.
type of stuff like that.
Some of them out here commit crime. Some out here, so far in the streets that blood has been shed and they can't turn around. So they caught up into that, like, bro, we living through you, like, bro, whatever you with, we with. Like, I got some ready, like, foot soldier, like, bro, like, and they accept that because a lot of them, like I said, and me and Pastor talked about this. For all the people saying, oh, Kobe, this and that, I've been going to church, like, and that's what they love. Like, I've been taking them to church. Like I used to go to Zion Springs every day, every Sunday. And when we stayed every day, I just go to Zion Springs, Pastor Adam Mixon. Like every Sunday I'm in church. When I first moved back, I'm in New Orleans, Scott every Sunday. Right? When I met Pastor B, I'm in the streets heavy. It's 2013. We go to eat at your mama's that following Monday after I first met him, and he never judged me. Like, and me and him talk about it, he knew what I had going on. He can tell, but he never judged me. He
Yeah.
always, I stay
Well,
up
you
there
know what,
dropping.
Jacobie, the scripture say through love and kindness shall draw men. Long as you didn't show up to the church trying to sell no drugs when they had no problems. Hey, some folks do some stuff now
Right,
in these
right.
buildings. But the thing about it, I think the key we have to learn is that we're called to love. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
counsel, of course. But at the end of the day, we can't make anybody stop a lifestyle. But on the flip side of it, if we start demeaning them and talking about them and calling
Right.
them all kind of names, I repent of Lord every word curse I've spoken over somebody, some young girl, young boy. I thought, oh, they just this, they just, that the thought thing that they were calling young girls. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you're a thug. We as believers have to realize that when we speak those things out of our mouth, we're giving the enemy more fuel to even hold you longer.
Right.
And as we talked about with you, you started giving these young men some money. Hey, here's some money. If they growing up in poverty, they're gonna take the money. But there's nobody from the church out there to kind of act that. So we gotta go. I'm big on we gotta go into communities. I know sometimes I see some young folks out and you be like, they going through, be like, hey, how you doing? Just give them a
Mm-hmm.
compliment. I'm not this person. I think the church idea of evangelism is preaching and quoting scripture when we need to just get to know people and love them where they are
Right. And that's
and
why
let them
my
know you're
whole
here for them.
and that's why my whole mission, even with my when I did my back to school thing, I did it in the middle of the projects.
Yeah,
And
go there.
a lot of people ask me like, I had so many meets after that. How you do that? I connect. I'm out there every day. I grew up like that. I connect with them on a different level. Like when they see me, they know like half of them people still out there. So they know me just checking off a box or checking off a number. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't haven't got no government funding or none of this. I'm doing this out of my pockets, and the people who know that I've been doing this for this long help me. Like I ain't get no help from no major company or
Anything.
no. I did this out of my pockets and for my friends who really know Jacobie. Like this ain't something he just started doing. Like he
Yeah.
been doing this. He been
And
going
look, and you
feeding the
got some
homeless.
people in the church that ain't giving up. We are the answer. We are the answer to the majority of the problems in the earth realm.
I agree.
uh yes, does God do supernatural stuff? But God not gonna come down and do something supernatural that I can do. And that's
Right.
why I'm actually getting involved now. I was sharing with someone, not so much like you. I've always been a giver. I've given financial stuff, I volunteer for different things. But my family legacy is, for whatever reason, God dropped people in need. I always show up in our lives. And even growing up, I saw my parents when they didn't have a lot. They were always willing to share. Somebody was always staying in our house. Some child, if they weren't getting along with their parent, they end up at our house. I didn't want to be all that, but I morphed into them. I've had people
Mm-hmm.
live with me. And one of my things is in the process, like me, you said you have less money now, but you're happier. And God is allowing you to still continue what you were doing with a larger sum of money because of your faithfulness. I know for me, one of my things, I'll be able to retire in a few years. And it's like, okay, we got to get rid of the hustle. We got to get rid of this scattered debt. But the one thing say, no, I'm not going to do, I'm not going to stop helping people or being a giver.
Mm-hmm.
because God don't want me to start hard focusing on pay the debt. I'll pay the debt will get paid off. But if I see somebody in need and I be like, nah, let me go on and send this extra whatever on this bill rather than meeting that need, then when I stand before the judgment seat, I'm gonna have to give an account
Right.
for that. And so I want to say this to us in the Black community particularly. It's gonna take us to save us. Those of us that have better quality of life, if you came out of poverty, you'll be amazed at just getting to know these children and their families. You can give them hope. You can give them hope. It's
Mhm.
nothing. I had this happen to me. This person needed a large sum of money. I didn't have it, and what they were stressed out about. I said, wait a minute. You need to do this, 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 and this. Send them call the company, tell them this, 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 and this. Sometimes, if you don't have the resources, money, you may have information that you
Mhm.
can help people guide. And then
Mhm.
y'all, just a single mom or a single dad or struggling married family, they ain't gotta be single. Just saying, hey, what you need, y'all, you can buy somebody some groceries. And I
Mhm.
don't like to share what I give, but the person I'm not gonna give, but I met this lady. God let our paths cross. And I actually didn't think she said, yeah, I need to go to the store. But somehow I said, well, I need to see where you live first. So she sent me by her house. Oh my God, Jacobie, when I walked in there, my heart dropped. I was like, oh my
Mhm.
God, they don't have anything. I said, well, what do you need? She said, well, I need some groceries. So when we went, she was buying little packets of stuff. And every time she picked up, say, like a small pack of chicken, I would reach in the, when she turned it back, I would switch it for a bigger one,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And then when it got through and doing it, so she was like, oh, you buy you some stuff. And I looked at her, I said, listen, I'm gonna buy for you and your family as I buy with mine. I said, we finna go over here and get some of these freezer bags. I said, because I'm not trying to get you to eat today.
Trying to get you right.
Long time. And her son was in
Mhm.
college. He was going to college and she was doing some side hustle stuff to get it made. And I was so thankful we lost touch. But she called me a few months ago. She actually moved to California
Mm.
because she had a disability that she needed some more support. And she shared with me her son graduated and she
That's
was
cool.
doing well. And she said, Valerie, I often finally said, I lost your number. She said, but I was cleaning up and it fell out of a book. So
Mm.
we got to reach out. She said, you just don't know what a blessing. And y'all, you don't know. I had never heard from her again. I knew that she was okay because we stayed connected up until we got disconnected. So y'all, we can give life. So
Right.
y'all, everybody wins that's working to enhance neighborhood success. That's west, east, north, and south. And what was the other one you gave? Jacob, but you gave it another one. I
Uh,
thought.
Wealth, education, nutrition, and spiritual.
Okay, I'm right. I'm writing. I'm typing this in. You said wealth, education.
Nutrition and spiritual.
I'll say, hey, Jacoby, now I'm gonna need you to join me with here, healthy eating, active living,
Mm-hmm.
and spiritual. So look, y'all, he got look. This just hit me. Wait a minute. Not look. No, you don't got the Trinity going on up in here with this name.
Mm-hmm.
That just hit me. Look, you got the Trinity going on up in here. You got three purposes behind what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, Jacoby. How can people support you? Because I don't even know that.
So I just got a partnership with the housing authority. I got
Okay.
my after school program starting next Monday, in Avondale from the grade 5 through 12.
Okay.
And we actually, in that area, we're gonna try to feed them a hot meal every day,
Gotcha.
dinner. So you can, I have a everybody win cash out. You can help. You can volunteer. You can donate clothes. You can donate food. You can donate your time. And I and that's what I
Give me
like
your
more
cash
than
app. Is
anything.
it everybody wins the way is it capital?
No,
Everybody?
everybody wins.
Okay.
And mostly, my goal is to have a a community center on east sides of town. On the west side,
Wow.
the east side, the north side, the south side. To teach
Wow.
those
Yeah.
kids.
Because it's been proven. If you give kids
Mhm.
activity, they don't get in trouble. They don't.
Mhm.
They don't. So we got to get back to that. But Jacob, I am so proud of you. I would definitely be supporting and I would definitely be promoting. Okay, I just want to make sure I had it right. I would definitely be promoting it here on and you all when you type in everybody wins, you'll see his name come up. So I'm dropping that in here. That they can donate at Cash App. And everything. So we gonna pray for your success. And you all, the way we can work to enhance neighborhood success is you can start right where you are.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
see somebody in need, one thing I did with my kids, and we're a little over, but this is so good. When my kids were growing up and in school, when it came to going back to school and doing Christmas and even their birthday, I was like, okay, y'all job is to identify a child that you
Mm.
know in need, and we would buy school supply. And
Mhm.
I told them, you just take them and say, hey, my mom bought some extra stuff. This your gift. And, not like, oh, I'm helping you. I want them to feel, you don't want people to feel
Right.
demeaned or down when you're helping them.
Mhm.
And then for Christmas, it was like, okay, this is what you give, but however, two gifts got to go to somebody.
You sound like me. So my son, last, my son and niece and nephew last couple Christmas, I took because my son used to have 40 things on his Christmas list, and he used to get all
Yeah.
40 things. So he got up to age. I used to take them. We used to go to Avondale, and we'll just go buy. I'm talking. I used to go to Walmart. Basket. I'm walking out there with baskets of stuff.
Yeah.
And we're gonna pass them out to all the kids in Avondale and let them. I used to show them like, this is where
Yeah.
money
I mean,
came from.
I'm not against Angel Tree and all that, but I prefer, like, even in our church, if I find somebody there or somebody that I know personally. So let me ask you this, Jacoba. If people wanted to donate the food and stuff, do you have a drop off or can
So
they email you or what?
yeah, they can email me or call me. They actually gave me an apartment out there. So the apartment
Okay.
you got a stove. They have a refrigerator. They have a food where you can store food. Uh, I'm actually working on a partnership with the food bank to donate
Okay.
food every day. So
Okay.
I
So
still
what
got
phone
to.
number can they call you at, Jacoby?
You can call me at 205
Mm-hmm.
842 4014.
44, 40.
4014.
Okay, 4014. And what about your email?
Everybody wins at gmail.com.
So look, if y'all remember everybody wins, y'all can find them everywhere.
Yeah. Find me everywhere.
Everybody wins at Gmail. So look, y'all complain about these children out here in the street doing stuff. What we need to do is get involved and hopefully before they go down the wrong path too long, because no young person decides that they want to be in a life of
Nah.
crime, go to prison, or any of that. The enemy comes in, y'all, and takes their talent that God has given them in this earth realm to use for good. And because they
Yeah.
don't have anybody to interrupt that cycle, he take
Yeah.
them. So I've enjoyed it. So Jacoby, hold on, let me put up my announcement. Y'all, now next week, we're gonna have some fun because this must be New Rising Star week. Because well, he's not a member of New Rising Star, but he sang at our church. This is Isaac Jones, aka Pastor Jenkins. Okay, he do
Okay.
comedy. So we're gonna have faith and laughter next week. Cause look, you all, being saved ain't depressed and boring. I keep telling people Jesus wasn't
Right.
just Jesus, and he was laughing. They had fun.
Yeah,
They
they try
had
to make it complicated.
enjoyment. You ain't got to be all, as they call it, the frozen chosen ones.
Yeah, they try to
Uh,
make it overcomplicated. They're
yeah,
definitely doing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing we do, if you want to know how to live a holy life, go read about Jesus and
Mm-hmm.
the example the disciples set. He did not condone sin, but he did not bash sinners. And
That's
that
right.
means LGBTQI, transgender, whatever. Even this young man that did this hideous shooting yesterday, first thing I said, Lord, who groomed him? Who groomed him?
Mm-hmm.
Family and all that stuff. So y'all, we gotta pray. We have got to pray. And I want to encourage you all, wherever you live, pray over wherever you specifically live, your neighborhood, your city. Speak to these demonic activities that's in the air, because we have power, you all. Like I say, we can't stop it because Satan is God is the world, but we can lessen the occurrence and the negative effects of it. I truly believe that. So look, Jacobie, I always let my guests have the last say. So what you want to leave the people with?
Uh, do three things. You do these three things. You love, you forgive, and give grace.
Okay, let me write that. Parting words. So love.
Forgive, give grace to yourself and to the people around you, to everybody, anybody. You know, there's three things that Jesus did on his journey and that I learned. He loved, he forgave, he gave grace.
And guess what, y'all? If he hadn't gave us grace and some mercy, we've been taken out by now.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all have a good night. See you next.